Are you looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/bluewire and use code BLUEWIRE. That's code BLUEWIRE at prizepicks.com/bluewire for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Mavs Party. For those of you listening on the recording later, it's a shade before 10 p.m. on Thursday, January 5th. You're joined by me, Kirk Henderson, editor-in-chief of MavsMoneyball.com, and tonight's group therapy is the result of the Boston Celtics reminding who the Mavericks, who's actually a good team and who is a team still in need of some seasoning, some better players, some better luck. Whew. I don't really know what we're going to talk about in here tonight, team, because to be quite honest with you, this was a game where the Mavericks were bullied from pillar to post. Luka looked a little rough from the get-go. Everything else, it's kind of downhill, the fact that the Boston Celtics have a very, very good team. The Dallas Mavericks would struggle even with all 3 of their, missing rotation players suiting up. And, it's just a reminder of kind of what the team has to build if you're looking at an honest-to-goodness contender versus the Mavericks. That's kind of what I take away from this. I found myself a little disappointed that some players didn't step up in a better way. But I'm also not upset that those players didn't step up in a better way because the Mavericks are just severely outgunned against the Celtics. All right, let's go first to my man, Chris, who was waiting to hang
Kirk,
out.
how's it going?
Chris, what's happening?
Oh, nothing. I'm not too mad about this game. I think we all knew that this is just going to be a loss. Missing our players. I mean, Boston kicked our ass last time. I honestly don't know how we beat them twice last year. And I was actually at that buzzer beater game last year. I guess because we had Brunson, and then the other one was Dinwiddie hitting the 3 at the buzzer. But this game, we're just getting out-rebounded. Bench players suck. I mean, Bertans is just worthless if he can't hit a 3. He's just a negative out there. Bullock, how many minutes did he play?
37.
Wow, 0 points, 37 minutes. I can get points out there.
He's one guy I think we should sort of, if there's alarms raised, it's Josh Bo and I just talked about this. There's the people who are panicked about Reggie early, and I was saying, wait, I now will see that panic is a fair reaction. He just doesn't look good.
We just have so many bad contracts. Hardaway's a streaky player, but Bullock, Bertans. I mean, it is what it is. But I think for most nights, average teams, bad teams, just plain and simple, just hit your 3s and we'll probably win because Luka's going to have 35, 40 points. We're probably going to win. But against these really good players, I thank God Boston is in the East because the West, Denver is great. And Memphis is good too, but I feel like we match up good against Memphis anyway. But we just have to get back at it. The good news is, Saturday going against the Pelicans, they'll be on the second night of a back-to-back. And I feel like the Mavs do play better when they maybe not on a back-to-back, but like at least having a one-day rest. I think that's when they play at their best because, I mean, they just had 2 days off and
they looked tired. That was the main takeaway that I kind of – Luka did not look good. Like, he physically did not look good. Like, he looked peaked.
He could just be under the weather, but he's getting double teamed like the entire game. I mean, the Celtics are probably the best defensive team in the NBA. I mean, they look like it to me. So, I'm not mad at this game. I was kind of expecting a loss. Thank God, like I said, that the Celtics are in the East. But if we even get lucky and strike something at the trade deadline and hit lightning in a bottle, make it to the finals, it was just pretty comical.
Well, the West is such a like even through kind of my whinging. The Mavericks are still fine. You know, the West is so
That's
bad.
Why I'm not worried. Yeah. So just beat the teams you're supposed to. You learn that lesson early in the season, losing all those games we shouldn't have. But at least they went on that 7-game winning streak, showing the potential that they can. We'll get Finney Smith back, Josh Green back soon. I mean, I think Kleber's probably out at least till
I think
probably March, right? Or he's probably the whole season, maybe. So
even if he comes back, it's like coming back in any sort of form, like.
Right. He's going to have a rhythm. He's already 29, 30 years old. So they can't expect him to bail us out. But I was listening to that After Dark with you and Josh Bowe about the whole Christian Wood thing. And I totally agree with you guys. It totally made sense. There's no reason to rush on that and throw everything at him just because Mavs fans just say, just sign him now. What y'all said was on point. And I totally agree with that. But they got.
You don't want to see a guy walk. And to me, kind of the clamoring for Wood is much less about Wood and much more a inherent fear that they're going to fuck up again as a front office. I like Wood too. I mean, he had, I desperately would like for him to like really play really well against a good team. But that,
if they did offer, let's say, a 2-year extension, $36 million,
I don't think he'd take it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So he's, hopefully if he doesn't take it, try to banish him back to the bench or something.
No, I don't think they'll do that because it's.
Yeah, it's not good business. You're going to be losing games then. So putting Powell in the starting lineup and then here we go again thing. So hopefully they can figure something out on that. I mean, they're going to have to do something before that trade deadline. But yeah, I totally agree with you guys with what y'all said. Not just rushing at it and throwing the 4-year extension at him.
I don't think he'd take it. I really don't.
Oh wow!
I think he wants to go to market because the worst thing that happens to him is he goes to market and gets the kind of deal he's being offered at the extension level. Like he's not gonna get with this sort of play. I think he's not gonna get less than more than he's making now. But anybody that offers him the max is nuts. So that's that.
You just hope there's a bad team like that's gonna do that because that's just going to be bad for us if we just lose them for nothing like we did Brunson. But anyway, let's just hopefully we can get back on track on Saturday and get a win.
All right, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, let's go to David. Welcome back, David. What's up?
Hey, Kirk. How you doing?
Okay. What's going on your end?
Oh, man. Just got the little one to bed and was able to log on. So can you hear me okay on my Bluetooth?
You sound great.
Awesome. First time all week. I saw most of the second half of tonight's game, so I didn't see what happened with Luka. It sounded like he got hurt, but
I never know what to think when he's hurt because national TV commentators always overreact because they're not used to seeing him. I don't want to say like rope-a-dope, but he's so exaggerative and he's so big and strong that I don't have a good feel for what happened to him tonight, but they opted to basically sit him, which was the right call. He looked a little banged up. Like he was getting hit hard tonight. That was like, there was a lot of excess content, I think, or contact, excuse me. And that just, it caught up with him eventually.
Yeah, I saw them a little bit in the first, like Al Horford, I thought like he put him down on the floor and I wasn't sure. It didn't look like that big of a hit. And I was like, is he just doing, Luka, like playing it up for the future or like, is this, but he's also really strong. So it's not easy to knock him down. So I was like, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, I was saying in the chat that jokingly that I'm just going to refer to tonight as the Jaden Hardy game, or Hardy game. So that, like that, it was refreshing that little stretch in the fourth to see him push the ball, even though I felt like the Celtics were just trying to like rub dirt in our wound, keeping their starters in as long as they did.
Well,
I was
here's why
shocked.
they did that. They did that because they got the shit kicked out of them by Oklahoma City 2 days ago.
Oh, I missed that.
They lost to a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander less Oklahoma City Thunder team, 150 to 117. They got embarrassed. So that was kind of like their coach basically be like, you need to just dominate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you notice there was actually at one point there was an MVP chant when Tatum was on the free throw line. So I don't know who the hell was letting all these Celtics fans in the arena.
Well, this time
I thought that was funny, but they got booed out. Luckily, the Dallas fans woke up enough to like just shout.
Tatum also did look great. He looked real good.
Oh, he did. He looked very good. And like they did a shot of the Celtics bench, and I just saw the excess talent, like the fact that they've still got Blake Griffin, and then we're ending the game with JaVale McGee. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather have Blake Griffin. Good Lord. But yeah, Hardy was fun. I thought it was awesome just watching him push the ball. I not expecting anything from him this season, so that was good. But I wasn't able to call in later that night because I was still on cloud nine. But ever since I went to the Knicks game for Luka's moment with the family, and now that the new year, I feel like I've mellowed out since last time I called, and I was bummed after that first Celtics loss, but. I'm resigned that, if we lose Christian Wood, I want to get your take. If we lose Christian Wood, I feel like we're a first round team exit. And if we have to trade him, unless we get unless we fleece somebody. But if we don't get equal value back or we get picks back that we can trade later, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we get, we probably, end up leaving the first round. But if we somehow retain him and get him on an extension, which I think would be awesome, then maybe the second round. So I was curious what you think the ceiling is going forward, where your expectations at.
I mean, right now, I think it's a first round exit team, kind of regardless. Reggie Bullock being this bad is not something I would have anticipated, at least defensively. Tim Hardaway had to guard Jason Tatum. Granted, they're not always going to be this bad defensively, but they don't really have the pieces. I don't know what they do at the deadline. I do think they do something, but it's not going to move the needle too much. Like the Maverick last year, the Maverick plan for success post Porzingis became the three-headed monster of obviously Brunson, Dinwiddie, Luka doing stuff, and other people hitting threes. This year, the plan is Luka good at basketball. That's the extent. Like Christian Wood doesn't really move the needle. I'm going to piss people off saying that, but it's just like a great Christian Wood game or a bad Christian Wood game is not. The Mavericks have won games with him being a starter, but that coincided with that 7-game win streak against 4 of the worst teams in the league. Which I'm not knocking. Like you beat who you're supposed to be, you beat who's in front of you, but it's just. This team is just they're somehow going to have a first round. They might be on the top 4 in the West. I honestly don't understand what the hell is happening this year, both with the Mavericks and with the NBA. It's a weird year.
I mean, as bad as our front office is in so many respects, at least we're not the Timberwolves.
Sure. No, because their future is bleak.
Yeah, I thought ours is a little rough, but by 2025, provided we don't screw it up between now and then, we'll be looking great. They're still screwed. So anyway, well, I'm just going to relish the 6 minutes of watching aggressive, the aggressive pushing and fast break basketball that Hardy put in there just to mess up. I was like, that's what Josh Green would have done in the second quarter if he were here, but. So I think once we get those guys back, I'm hoping that we can finish in the top 5 and maybe get a first round matchup that's favorable to us.
That's sort of
maybe
my like not being in the play-in is would be my team goal, just because you never know what happens. You also want Luka to get some rest, because they're just gonna have to play Luka 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
So
at least he looked good on Dude Perfect, so that was cool.
All right, well, thank you for joining, David.
Thanks.
All right, talk soon. Okay, coming up next is Tyron. What's up, Tyron?
Hey, Kirk, how you doing?
I'm okay. What's going on?
Not gonna lie, I was very, very reluctant to continue to talk basketball tonight after I got into an argument with the guy at the game who said we should trade. I don't remember who he said to trade, but he should trade for Mason Plumlee.
Oh man, Mavs fans like them some white basketball players.
But anyways, that blew my mind. But anyways,
in this economy, yeah, that's terrible.
That is so bad. And I just ended the argument by saying, clearly you don't watch basketball. Anyways, so yeah, I went to the game tonight, and the energy really felt like, okay, Luka's sick, so let's just throw in the towel now. First quarter almost. So I felt like I wasted my time. And then second of all, how do we continue to start guys like Reggie Bullock and, give Tim Hardaway the minutes that he has? And Jaden Hardy got in there. Granted, it was trash time. I understand that. But Jaden Hardy went in there and got the quickest 10 points I've ever seen, live, which he wound up having 15 points. He was consistent. He had energy and all that. And there's a particular moment that pissed me off as far as Jaden Hardy goes. Jaden Hardy got a rebound and then, took off down the floor in a fast break. Literally, the other four guys on the court were walking down the court. He looked back at them, and he had to stop his fast break, pull the ball back out to the three, and give it up.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That was rough. I remember that.
That's ridiculous. That is unacceptable, is honestly what it is. And I don't, as much as I love the Mavericks, I've been watching the Mavericks since God knows how long.
Right.
I mean, like Reunion Arena days. And this is probably as bad as I remember things being. This is bad. I mean, hell, I was even wanting Jason Kidd to put JaVale McGee out there, not because he was going to get us points, obviously, but I think it was late in the second quarter. Jason Tatum and all those guys, they were just driving at will.
Yeah.
And I think we had Christian Wood down there. Love Christian Wood to death, but if you have a team that's driving on you, he's not your solution. Put a body down there. You always say basketball is not a hard game. Keep it simple. Put a body down there in the paint. They stop driving. You know what I mean? Like I'm just watching this stuff unravel, and it's very, very frustrating on so many different levels. And I listen to a lot of Mavs media. We need another point guard. We need another this, another that. We have a kid who is one of the, I don't know if he's still the number one or he's just one of the top scoring kids in the G League right now, produces more than your starters do. Yet and still, we're talking about what we need. We want to go chase Mason Plumlee.
Well, I think Hardy would be pretty rough, but he'd be a very different kind of, he'd at least be something different for us to watch. Like if Reggie's not giving you much, because I don't really think Reggie's playing good defense either.
No, he's not.
At that point, it's just like, what can it hurt? I've kind of been consistent in saying that if Hardy's getting minutes, the Mavericks are kind of in a dark zone. But I didn't envision the West this wonky, so I don't see it. Hardy's not going to be the reason you lose a game.
No, but at the same time, because I've been on Josh Green Island for a long time now. Now he's before he got hurt, obviously he was coming around. So and I could understand if we were the Golden State Warriors. Put Josh Hardy in over Steph Curry. No, we're the fucking Dallas Mavericks that suck this year. Play those guys and see what you got. And then, try again next year.
Yep.
Because it's hard to watch. But anyways, I'm done ranting. I did have a question for you, Kurt.
Sure.
Those red circles that appear on the front of Luka's shoulders. What is that?
Cupping.
You know? Pumping?
Cupping. It's
Cupping.
It's a form of injury. It's like a form of treatment where it's like it's suction cups. Like look it up. It's bizarre. I use some weird shit because I'm old now and I'm always willing to try stuff to make myself feel better after a workout. But I think it's I'm trying to say it's injury management is what it is. And a lot of athletes do it, but that's where his pacey self, it really looks hilarious. Like it looks like he's been abused.
Got you.
It's a fascinating process because it's like you do this. And I'm going to explain it wrong, but it's something that like I don't think I would ever try because I would have those kind of dumb bruises on my arms. So
yeah.
Chris in the chat says
I
didn't want to say it. It's supposed to promote blood flow to areas that are cupped, and so like blood flow is like pretty key for injury recovery and for basically muscle management and things like that. So it's interesting. So
very interesting. One more thing before I hop off, and thanks, Chris, for that tidbit.
That's
right. Do you have any predictions or any feelings going towards the trade deadline?
Oh, I think they move Wood. I don't know why. I just think they move Wood. Because this whole his agents had a full court press on everybody and their uncle. I'll just this show doesn't get listened to enough for me to get in any heat, but like I'll just tell you, if you ever see like Christian Wood's done this in a specific number of games, his agent sends the same direct message to anyone affiliated with Mavericks media. I mean, I've talked to at least 30 people who get direct messages from this guy. And I just think he's annoying. And that's not fair. I should edit that out. He's not annoying. I think the process is annoying. And it's like building a narrative. And I think Wood's good enough for it to speak on its own. But I also don't see like what sort I don't know. It's just a feeling. I could be wrong. I don't see what he recoups. That's actually part of the problem. But that's where I am right now.
Yeah. Oh man! And if we lose Wood, then what? Jesus Christ!
That's what I've been railing about this for 4 years, and everyone, it'll be fine. It's like my favorite. Xavier's not in here right now, but he talked about the bird rights trap, where it's like you sign your own guys to contracts that are worth too much money. The Mavericks, by trying to avoid the bird rights trap, they ended up in the bird rights trap. Their books are ridiculous.
Yeah. Way to go, guys.
I need to be lighter on them, but Luka Doncic is the hard part. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Kirk. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, we got a few more folks. Micah.
Hey, Kirk. How you doing this night?
I'm good, buddy. What's going on?
I mean, I just watched this get spanked by a better team. What else is new? But I'm a board single guy. I'm watching the Clippers and
I heard the Clippers bench their starters in the second half.
Yeah, they're not serious. They're ready. Like that's just like it's easy to get down on your team, but at the same time you look around the league and you realize real quick, oh shit, it's not just us. Team building is hard because they're getting waxed right now. It's like so. Yeah, it's I just feel like moving forward, they just need to focus on making ancillary moves. Like, I mean, shout out Jazz. She kind of put this in my head, and it's like look at it as somewhat as a possibility, like a player on a younger guy that's not being put up for contract extensions. Yeah. What do you think about Grant Williams? Because it looks like he's seriously flirting. He's out there in the game wearing Luka ones, for God's sake. Like on a podcast talking about, he's got the card. Like
I am terrified of him as a player because I think he's like Draymond sent through a fax machine. And also, Ryan Russillo, one of the guys, used to be at ESPN, works for Bill Simmons now, talked last year about how Celtics teammates get so annoyed by him. I don't know. I mean, I do this with every player where I'm like, I don't like anybody. So maybe I'm the wrong person to ask.
I mean, it's just like you said. I mean, team building is hard. It's just trying to find the perfect guy that fits perfect.
That's true.
It's hard.
Yeah. No, he's an interesting player. I'll tell you that much.
He's interesting. I just feel like he's kind of like pretty much a copy of several of our guys that are on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I would kind of be looking at somebody like that.
I hope they do something. I am the wrong person to ask because not enough teams like the Spurs today decided to mega tank with some of the moves they made today. But nobody else is really doing that.
They want Wemby bad. Like, they are going for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this top 10 draft is going to be crazy. It's just like figuring out like what side of the spectrum you are as far as how far down the line you think you're really going to be trying to compete. Like,
yep,
it's tough. Like, you look, good God, like, I swear, anytime I see somebody on the timeline advocating for Team Tank, I'm sending them Rockets clips.
Yeah.
Clips saying, so that's what you want Luka to play with, right? Okay, just think about that.
I understand. Well, thanks for stopping by tonight.
All right, thanks for letting me on.
Right, man. You too. Okay, I'm gonna go to my man Ruben to finish this out. Then I'm gonna hopefully be done before 10:30. That'd be nice because have you guys looked at the schedule? They play they have a West Coast road trip, which is gonna end me. How are we doing?
Doing all right, Kerr. I watched that whole game. Thank God Jaden Hardy got in, my guy, and I just want more playing time for him. But I kind of like just thought like during this green room, kind of just like sit back and like look at this season as a whole. It feels like I'm in the like if you can re-sign Christian Wood, yeah, do it. But just rethinking it, like if you could move him to replenish your bench and also move THJ and Reggie, the older guys, if you can, I think in the long run you would be better off. I know maybe moving Christian Wood would be like a big hit to points, but if you could move him for some legitimate pieces that can create for themselves, this is not talking about a big swing. I don't think they're doing a big swing this year. I think they'll do that when they get their picks back. But just thinking about it, I feel like this whole season, J-Kid has been trying to get Reggie Bullock's stock up, THJ stock up. I think
that's true too. Yeah, just like he did with KP.
Yeah, and I feel like the host, like he's giving Reggie every chance, but Reggie's stock is what it is at this point. We're way past December. But THJ, his stock is pretty high right now. I would say for a contending team, he can, contribute. But if you can move those guys, maybe for some more pieces for the bench, and I know Christian Wood at this point can. Am I crazy to think maybe he could get you a first round pick and a player? Maybe
I don't. Not on an expiring deal. Not unless he's going to somewhere where they're like
right.
already pre-agreed to like a contract.
Right. I didn't think about that.
That's what's hard.
Yeah, and tampering is. I'm pretty sure they're tampering right now. They're not dumb. But if you could move Christian Wood to replenish your bench, not even for a first round pick, but just quality players for the bench, and I'm pretty sure Luka can turn those guys into some crazy scores or whatever. He does it every year with a different guy, I feel like. But I think in the long term, maybe that is what they're trying to do. Hey, we tried to get Reggie stock up. We tried to get THJ stock up. Guys with a Hardy, with a Green, which is great. Like, this. I mean, it's working perfect if that was their plan. The only setback was Josh Green, getting injured, but he showed you, hey, I can step up if you have to move guys. Hardy, I feel like they're trying to hide Hardy. I'm like they don't want teams to start asking for him in a package. But this guy, like when as soon as Luka, I think I see Bibbs in here, he had tweeted something where Jay started trying hard once he realized he's replaceable. When Luka hit Hardy with that corner three, I was like, THJ can get out of here because he basically is he's like he could be THJ 2.0 or just a spot up shooter like Reggie, whatever you want to do, and he can also take it to the basket. And and the TNT announcer, Hardy's running something the Mavs do. I had to just quote that on Twitter. It's just young energy, but if that's their plan, yeah, I'm not going to be mad about it. I wish we could keep Christian Wood and add bench pieces by moving Hardy, not Hardy,
somebody.
THJ and Reggie. I wish we could do that, but if it means getting a good package back for Christian Wood, I guess we just got to bite the bullet and just do it. And then we can take the big swing with a good bench. I think that's a great look for the future, though.
Well, we'll see what they do. I mean, the next month is going to be weird. There's already, the one part that I do love about the new front office is because Donnie Nelson is no longer involved, the Mavericks are just getting name dropped at everything. And I find that fun because I hated before how there was just nothing with what was going on. Like, it was just a bunch of quiet, just every trade deadline, it's like eking out news. Like I normally, I tease my buddy Dalton about this all the time where he's always trying to trade for every player in the league. But like right now, if we can back it up by some third degree of aggregation, I think it's sort of fun to talk about. But that'll be what the next month is. I mean, the trade deadline, I want to say, is earlier this year than I remember it being in previous years. So, well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Hey, problem. And I mean, Nico said we would have a seat at the table. That was his fire quote. But I'm kind of more excited to see Josh Green, Hardy, and Luka. Just them. I just want to see them. We just got to
get Josh Green
court.
back, man.
Yeah,
I don't like how Jason Kidd is talking about him. Not that he's saying anything bad. It's just it's cryptic. And what the hell kind of elbow injury is like this? Like everybody in the Mavs Moneyball Slack keeps making Tommy John surgery jokes. I'm like, it's not funny. I don't want
maybe it's just maybe it's just the way he dunks because I feel like he tries to destroy the rim every time he dunks. But I can't wait till he gets back. And I just want to see him just young talent out there with Luka.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for hanging out, man. You too. Okay, I'm going to go do something else. Actually, that's not true. I'm going to go do more Mavs Moneyball work. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and we will talk to you guys. They have 2 games this weekend. They play Pelicans and they play Oklahoma City, so we'll be right back at it. Bobby, you are down there in the chat, really making an argument that John Morant is cringe, and he's among the most popular players in the league for social media stuff. So it's a difficult argument you're making down there. All right, folks, this has been fun. Thanks for hanging out on Mavs Moneyball Group Therapy. We will talk with you guys on Saturday. Have a good Friday.